Kristaps Porzingis has been dominant for the Boston Celtics on the offensive side and the defensive side so far for the Celtics in their first regular season game. And as the Celtics await their second game tonight, their home opener versus the Miami Heat, we break down how Kristaps has been so dominant for the Celtics in the season so far. We also will look at how Derrick White has cracked some jokes about the starting five and talking about some Mike Gorman respect. We have all of that on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we get into any Celtics content, I would like to say that right around 87% of our viewers are not subscribed, and we'd greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We can't thank everyone enough that's already hit the subscribe button. If you guys want to make sure you guys get your Celtics content on post games, reactions, trades, signings, everything Boston Celtics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We'll have a post game live tonight after the Celtics versus Heat game. You'd make sure you want to turn into that. We'll be engaging with chat, answering questions. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to hit the subscribe button and be ready for that tonight. But before we get into any more Celtics news, grab a snack, get ready to go, because this is a jam-packed episode first we'll be talking about Mike Gorman's respect that Adrian Wojnarowski was showing and Mike Breen was showing at the first regular season game for the Boston Celtics in New York. As we can see from this Reddit post, and this was Wojnarowski's Instagram post, he said that he caught a pretty cool moment before the Celtics-Knicks opener at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night. Hall of Fame announcer Mike Breen seeking out Hall of Fame announcer Mike Gorman to tell him how much respect and admiration he had for his legendary career. This is the start of Gorman's final season on the mic after 43 years of the voice of the Celtics, and the user says that this brought a tear to their eye. Love to see them getting respect. Gonna miss this guy. And I totally agree. Mike Gorman has been a big focal point for the Celtics radio station and announcing station for a long time. And it is sad to see him go. You love to see that he's getting the recognition from other famous announcers as well, Mike Breen being one of them, one of the most legendary announcers in the NBA for ESPN, and him showing that recognition to a guy that has done Big East basketball for a long time and has done the Celtics for 43 years. That's honestly some great admiration, something that I love to see as a fan, as I've watched Mike Gorman my whole life doing commentating. He's one of the guys that I've always looked up to. So it's great to see everyone else recognizing him and giving him this big farewell tour, as he definitely deserves it as the voice of the Celtics for 43 years. But let's dive into some more lighthearted news, which is going to be Derrick White cracking some jokes. And yes, yesterday Brian Robb had some funny tweets talking about the starting five. Apparently, the Boston Celtics had a meeting last week going over what possible starting five lineups they could run, presuming that they would have Jrue Holiday, Jayson, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis automatically being in the starting five. It would be a fight between Al Horford if they want to run the double big lineup, or if they would want to run Derrick White in the starting five. But Derrick White had to say this. He said that when he and the top six players had their meeting about the starting five last week, Derrick White said he voted for JT to come off the bench. And I found that kind of funny, as obviously this team wants to build some chemistry, and Derrick White's already kind of fitted in with that, being with the team for almost a year and a half. But this is just awesome that he's just, gelling with the team, getting ready with them, and just cracking jokes, honestly, about having the star player come off the bench. And JT had something to follow up with that. He tweeted back at Brian Robb saying, "Told them one game this season I'm coming off the bench." But I thought it was even funnier, engaging with the humor with the fans. Obviously, we all know Jayson Tatum's not going to be coming off the bench, but I think it would be funny to see Jayson Tatum come off the bench for one game unexpectedly. Everyone would look back to this tweet and kind of remember that this was the funny moment that happened. Obviously, Jayson Tatum coming off the bench, the replies where he was only going to come off for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, maybe not start, which would be, a funny little joke for the Celtics to run against a team maybe that isn't one of the better teams in the NBA, a little bit of a younger team that they can kind of get away with it. But I think that them just, having a good relationship is honestly great for the Boston Celtics as a whole, as this team is competing for a championship and everyone wants to buy into these roles and actually function together and work together well as a team. There's been some issues with the team in the locker room, rumors in the past, but that's also, just rumors. But it's also great to hear that Jayson Tatum, Derrick White, they're getting along, cracking jokes. We obviously know that Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum have a great relationship as well. Bringing in Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, these guys are meshing well with already the core that we already have, and it's cool to see, guys like Derrick White, who has been on the team for a little bit now, like I said, a year and a half now, actually start meshing in with these guys and actually getting to get some voice of reason with them, because I felt like when Marcus Smart and Robert Williams were there, those guys had more of a connection with the stars. But obviously with those guys leaving, they have to get closer to some other guys. And Derrick White is definitely the next guy up. And I think he kind of blends in well with the team. I think he has the same kind of role. He was buying into that Marcus Smart role with the Boston Celtics in the first game. And hopefully he can kind of take that role for this team. But let's get in to some big news talking about the dominant player on the Boston Celtics so far, one of the top 2 players, and that is Kristaps Porzingis. And Kristaps Porzingis has been unstoppable in the first regular season game. And hopefully tonight he can still bring out this unstoppableness. He's going to be going up in a big center in Bam Adebayo, so it will be a tough matchup for Kristaps Porzingis, but hopefully he can still be effective offensively and defensively for the Celtics. And we have a quote from Jaylen Brown. But this is from Jared Weiss. And Jaylen Brown says that he thinks KP is the ultimate spacer, right? And if teams are going to keep guarding him like that, we're going to keep encouraging him to shoot the ball. When teams switch their coverages, people like me will be ready to take advantages of those matchups. And that's awesome to hear. As we saw in the first game, they were running a lot of pick and rolls and pick and pops with Kristaps Porzingis, and the pick and pop 3 was being very effective against the New York Knicks, as the guy that was having to step up on Kristaps Porzingis wasn't able to step up on him enough quickly before Kristaps could get the shot off. And that's ultimately great for the Celtics and something that honestly is going to help our game and give us some versatility. And I've talked about this in the past. Having Kristaps Porzingis being that pick and pop 3-point shooter is what the Celtics needed, and this adds great versatility. But when you look at how Jaylen Brown is talking about how he wants Kristaps Porzingis to take in this role, it tells me that Jaylen Brown is willing to take a sacrifice on the offensive role and focus a little bit more on the defense. And if there is a mismatch where Kristaps Porzingis has a smaller guy or a bigger guy on him and Jaylen Brown were to set the pick and get the smaller mismatch, he can feed it to Jaylen Brown, and then that can effectively work the offense with Jaylen Brown, getting him going and get him some strides, which is ultimately great. But Kristaps Porzingis did not also play great offensively in the first game. He played great defensively. And we have this stat to provide for you from Reddit. Porzingis defended 13 shots within 6 feet of the basket, and the Knicks made only 1 of those shots. Kristaps Porzingis also finished with 4 blocks in the first regular season game. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that against Bam Adebayo tonight, but I do expect Kristaps Porzingis to get at least 2 blocks tonight in this game. He stepped up defensively with the Washington Wizards, and you can see that his defensive presence is still going to be activated with the Boston Celtics being a rim protector, and we saw him playing at the perimeter as well, offensively and defensively. I think that Kristaps Porzingis has unleashed this new power for the Boston Celtics, and maybe it was because on the Washington Wizards he wasn't being paid attention to, no one was really seeing what he was doing, but I think on a championship contending team, alongside 2 superstars in Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and another superstar in Jrue Holiday, who's going to be effectively very good on the defensive side of the ball and will still hit key shots for the Celtics when he needs to. I think Kristaps Porzingis fitting into his role, being a versatile big for the Celtics on offense and defense, and like we said, he buys into his role. He said regardless of the night, he will take a more offensive defensive role. In the first game of the regular season, he went off in the first quarter, went off in the fourth quarter on offense, but in the second and third quarter, prioritized defense. Maybe in this game, he's going to be playing more of a defensive role. We'll see if Jaylen Brown can step up on offense for the Boston Celtics tonight. But if not, expect Kristaps Porzingis to take those threes and still get hot, and I think he will be a difference maker for the Celtics tonight versus the Miami Heat. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you guys excited about how Kristaps Porzingis has been performing for the Boston Celtics? Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 what you guys think Kristaps Porzingis has performed for the Celtics. Also, let me know your guys' predictions for the Miami Heat Celtics game. Do you think the Celtics are going to win tonight? Do you think we're going to start off 2-0? Or do you think the Celtics will suffer their first home loss of the season? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love reading your comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we produce Celtics content for you guys almost daily here. And if you're at this point in the video and you haven't subscribed, we know you enjoyed the content, so make sure to hit that button. I'm Bruce Veliz. I'll catch you guys in tonight's live stream. We'll be breaking down the post game between the Celtics and the Heat, answering questions about the game and answering questions about the Celtics. I hope to catch you guys all there. And if not, have a great rest of your night and peace out.